Hi, and welcome to this month's, where I don't even know what month it is, June and July monthly energy forecast. I know. It is a little late this month, and I apologize. I was actually on a little summer break myself on vacation, and it wasn't actually booked last month, so I didn't get the chance to tell you guys like, hey, next month it'll be a couple days late. But that's where I was. A lot of people are checking in, being like, is everything okay? Where's the forecast? So makes me feel good that you guys are reading it, you're listening to it, you're going by it. So again, my apologies for not knowing we were going on break for a week. So I'm back, and we're going to obviously start with today and go to the 15th of July. But it's nice to do this live because some people can, sign on, say hi. And if you're feeling what's going on, I can actually talk to you. Isn't that great? That's a wonderful thing. So, hello. Here we are, the June, July monthly energy forecast. It's not the lounge right now, but it's purple up there and yellow, and it kind of goes with the banner down there. So, it kind of looks nice. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it. Let's see who's here today. Oh, hi, Lori. Good to see you. Kristen. Oh my God, it's been so long. Good to see you as well. Thanks for being here. Alrighty, I am going to get started with the theme of June. And before that, just a few housekeeping things. If you're just meeting me and you're on here live, or just, popping on to the Facebook or the YouTube, because we are broadcasting live right now to Facebook and YouTube. So if you are a subscriber, wonderful. If you're not a subscriber on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because then you will get access to these every month. Secondly, if you want this to be delivered to your email inbox once a month, personally, you can get on my email list, and you will get the energy forecast as they come out, hot off the press. They do go public after we do them live, and after they go out to everybody else, then we do put them on YouTube. But so you can reference them, as like a back order. But if you want them delivered live when they come out, so you don't miss each month and you have them to reference, make sure that you go into the link of the description of this video and put your email in to receive them every month. Also, you'll be getting access to be on my email list for any upcoming events we have going on. And we have a lot coming up, actually. So that would be great if you want to do that. Plus, you'll get my weekly emails where I talk about manifestation and give you some more tips on how to take the energy and use it wisely, which is the purpose of these forecasts. Basically, if you're looking to up-level your life, you're looking to manifest, you're looking to transcend your current reality and make it better, and you're looking for that ultimate transformation, you're going to need a reference guide to the energies of not only what you might be going through, but what's going on in the energy of the cosmos, the universe, the planet, where you live, what's going on, right? So there's a lot of things. It's kind of like the weather forecast. You're not going to book a vacation and it's raining all week, right? It's like not the best time. So if you're looking to take some action in different sectors of your life, this is the best guide to go with. That way you can overlay it on your decision making and kind of use it to your best interests. So that's great. Secondly, I know I talked about this last month, but a lot of people like this forecast in many different formats. So I am creating a Manifesting with Marisa. I think that's what it's going to be called. I don't know. It might change, but the Manifesting with Marisa mini membership. And that's going to include a define, drive, and design your dream portion, transformation per month, a lot of different breakthrough sessions. And it's also going to include this forecast once a month written out. So you can get the transcript, you get the video, you can get it as a podcast. And what's really cool is you can actually go into the software that we're going to have just for you if you get into this membership. And you can actually search, right? You can say, hey, I want to know what's going on June 10th. And you can put in the bar June 10th, and it'll take you right to the video where I talk about June 10th. Isn't that cool? Everybody's been kind of like, has to watch the video, take notes, blah, 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 blah. So if you like this concept and you're like, hey, I would really like to be a part of that, do a subscription once a month, please let me know in the comments. that that's something you would be interested in, because even for me, I'm like wondering, well, what did I say on this date? Well, now you can get the transcript, you get the audio, you get the video, and you can do a searchable date. So let's say you're driving down the street, you're like, something's going on today, or I have to make a big decision. And you just go into the software and you type in June 10th, and it tells you what I'm saying for that day. I think it's cool. If you like the concept, you want to be part of that, please put it in the comments. Hey, sounds great. Awesome. So those are the things that are coming up, and I'm excited about that. And secondly, in July, if you're looking for a little bit of like, hey, I really want to change my life completely and no more messing around. You're done with the patterns. You're done with the cycles. You're done being scattered and all over the place all the time. You're done having relationship problems. You're done with your finances being up and down, and you're done with feeling completely overwhelmed. And you're like, hey, I just want to live my life and have calm and balance and do the things I love to do, have the freedom to do it, and have the financial abundance to do it. You will have the opportunity to apply for one of 7 spots in our Ascend and Align Accelerator. It's my 12-month yearly group coaching program, and we're taking 7 more students in the month of July. And we're not open yet, but when we do, if you're on my email list, you'll hear about this, and we could do a call and see if it's a good fit for you. But if you're looking to put the pedal to the metal, it's like, if you watched Maverick on Top Gun, it's kind of going to like, it's like a boot camp, but it will change your life. And if you're looking to really make that change, you're going to need that amount of time to do it. So you'll hear more about that as we go along. But for now, I'm going to talk about June. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is the June and July monthly energy forecast for the dates. Usually it's June 15th to July 15th, but this month it is June 19th to July 15th. Okay, so the theme of the month for June is planting your pair of pillars, and you'll understand this as I go along. Okay, so basically, if you're somebody like me for a long time, I was scattered and all over the place. That's why I started to do the work that I'm doing now, so that I could get grounded, efficient, prioritize, simplify my life, and feel like I'm not rushing through life, and I have time with my loved ones, the children around me and my family, and I'm not just, working all the time. So you have to, if you're going to manifest, it's great if you have like big ideas. It's great if you have things you want to do, but how many times have you had these ideas and they were great, but they just kind of fell apart? So this is like your dreams, your goals, your visions, all that stuff. You need the firm foundation. And sometimes we skimp on that firm foundation, right? So that's what the planting your pair of pillars is this month. It's doing that work that you don't really want to do to set you up for success down the road, so that you can plant the pillars, create the archway, and the archway stays firm. And it goes right into whatever, like it's like you see them when you go into a college or something, or you go into a new, I don't know, amusement park. I don't know, whatever you want to build for yourself, right? The pillars have to be stable. And the archway then in your big idea and the world that you're creating for yourself, then will be able to stay steady and consistent as you go forward. Because if you're watching this video, you're a highly sensitive person, you're highly intuitive, it's most likely that you start things, you have a lot of momentum, then you get stuck, you procrastinate. You're like, life's coming up. I have stuff to do with the kids. I have stuff to do with the family, the elderly. I have projects at home. I have bills. And then your dreams, goals, and desires just get put on the back burner. We don't want that. And so if you really want to move forward this month, we don't have anything in retrograde. We have a lot going forward for us. So a lot of great energy. I talked about June last month being a lot of great energy. Planting the pair of pillars is going to be really important. Now, I speak in symbols, I speak in analogies, I get visions, and then I kind of interpret them. But if you're watching, you could kind of interpret it however it makes sense for you. So as we go, first of all, happy Father's Day to the dads out there. Being a medium, I, over the past 25 years, talked to a lot of dads who have passed, and a lot of dads who are here, or people who take the place of dads or granddads or whatever else, or even a pet dad, whatever. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there. And today is Juneteenth. So that's another holiday that we'd like to recognize as well. And so I'm sure everybody's going to be, it's like people are getting out of school, a lot of transitions going on like this month. So people going on vacations. The energy really isn't set for your mind to be thinking of planting your pair of pillars and your foundations and getting everything ready with that boring work that you have to do to lay the foundation of the house, right? You'd rather decorate it. So right now, though, if you really want to take advantage of the energy, and creating your dreams and goals and visions. So like when I think September and October is a time like when things are kind of like you're moving forward, you're planting the seeds, you're moving along, you're getting those manifestations going. You want to have those firm foundations. So June 19th and 20th, we're going to focus on that for the 2 pillars of the archway. So look at this as opening up a new venture. And if you want to think about it, just have the visual of like an educational institute, new thought leadership, a goal, a vision. This could be a personal or career goal, could be a self-care goal, could be, hey, you want to consistently make an income doing what you love. You would like to turn your hobby into a business. You would like to consistently stay at a certain weight and wellness, lifestyle. You would like to eat consistently, whatever you would like to do, right? Whatever you would like to create, or you'd like to even build a business, right? You need the 2 pillars of the archway. And so now the energy, it's not really where your mind wants to go with it, but it's what will set you up for success moving ahead. So like I said, look of it as the opening of a new venture. It's the keystone, and archway is not in place yet. So the archway is your idea. Usually we start with the ideas. We're kind of like a greyhound out of the gate. We go for the ideas. We do a couple things, and then it kind of just like drops, right? So it's because you don't have that firm footing and that foundation. So, but without this firm foundation right now, these ideas are really ripe with success that you have. It really can't be built and moved forward in the fall. So you want to be aware of that. Sometimes we plan the big idea or the archway before we plan the foundations. And it's a lot harder to keep it up consistently for these ideas, dreams, and goals to manifest. So if you relate to this, please put it in the chat. I'm going to say hi again. Hi, Maria. Good to see you as well. Thanks for showing up live today. All right. So June 21st, almost feel, okay, so the June 21st is a great day. You're almost going to feel like this new idea, which actually was an old idea before, like if you had this idea many years before, I'm assuming even some of you had these ideas for 15 years and you just didn't get around to doing it, right? So you're always going to feel like this is a new birth, right? A new idea, and it will finally be taken to fruition. It will finally, that idea, that dream, that goal, that vision will finally happen, right? Can you believe it? Can you imagine what that feels like for it to be not only happening, but it to be easy for you? But for this to happen, the pillars, the planting, the pair of pillars needs to happen. The boring work, the foundational work. I'm going to keep repeating it because sometimes people hear me in the beginning and they're like, oh, the archway. Oh, the idea. She said it was going to happen. Right. And then we go into la la land. I do it too. It's okay. But I'm going to keep saying the boring work, the foundational work. That's what you should be focusing on now. And your mind and your energy is going to be want to focus on, oh, the kids are out of school. Summer's transitioning. The freedom. Let's go travel, blah, blah, blah. You could do all those things. You have to plan your planting of pillars and your foundations. So it's almost like kind of celebrating a birthday or having a big, like basically I talk in images. So hopefully you follow me. It's kind of like knowing you're going to give birth, right, to this project, even a person, who knows. And you have the baby shower and you have all this stuff prepared. You do your registry, you build your nursery. So when the baby comes, you have all the stuff you need to not be stressed out, right? And to consistently care for the baby, right? It's not like a surprise. Like, here comes the baby. We have no crib. We have no nursery. We have no bottles. We have no diapers, right? So basically, you're building this nursery for this birth of your project, goal, dreams, or desires. Or maybe some of you are actually having a baby. I don't know. So you're really ready, finally, to give birth to this idea. Over the past 3 years, you've really thought about this really strongly, and you may have even acted on it. You may have even taken it up a level or tried it out or started it, but it doesn't seem to be consistent yet. Okay. So now you are finally ready to give birth to the idea, dream it, and have solid pillars and foundations in place to begin correctly. Okay. So if you are feeling this, you understand this, write in the chat, tell me what you're planning. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a business, but it could be a business, could be a career change, could be that you work a 9 to 5, but you really want to make money doing what you love. Or you may be an entrepreneur and you may be working more than you thought you would be working running a business, and you want to set up your business in a way which gives you more time and freedom to spend time with your family, to do the things you love, to do the things that are important to you, and to actually live life and to slow it down so that you don't feel like every day, like, oh, that 6 months just went by and I didn't do the things that were really important to me. And life's just passing you by. People are going to the other side. You're getting, you're moving forward in life, and you're just missing opportunities. You're missing chances to be present and connected. You can't do this alone by thinking about it. It's not going to really work. You've probably tried it many times already. So, June 22nd. Now, here is where you're going to stop and recheck your details day. So anything you've planned moving into before June 22nd, if you're planning your pillars, you're building the foundations, all of these dates go together, by the way. It's all a big stepping stone. This is the day to stop and recheck your details. So if you're moving forward, it will be attempting to keep moving forward instead of checking details. All of this stuff is boring, I know. So it's everything been put into place correctly. You have to see that. Have you missed anything? What about all the boring tasks that can take you offline and stop you from moving your project forward? Make sure your minor tasks are in place as well, so that you can essentially ride the wave. So if you think about a nice beach, you can essentially get on that surfboard and ride the wave steady and glide. So if you don't stop and recheck those details as you're moving forward on these foundations, we're talking about being those pillars built, you're going to be trying to catch the wave. You're going to be, hit by the wave, and you're going to be like, what's going on with this ocean? You want to just catch it and glide. And if you stop and recheck your details, catch the nicest waves, you will be able to do that. June 23rd. Now, if you're looking to make an announcement about this to anyone, your friends and family, online, anywhere, let's just say you want a new wellness plan. You want to get fit. Okay, let's just say that's your goal, that's your dream, that's your vision. Don't be announcing it to anybody before the 23rd. So sometimes that can water down the focus and the intention of what you're looking to manifest. So we have an announcement day on the calendar. So if you don't, listen to my forecast, you won't know about when to make the announcement. So make sure you're on the email list to get these forecasts, right? And the link in the bio in this video. This is the announcement day. So who do you need to tell about your new idea, venture, or project or dream goal? Think about that. It's kind of like going to the gym, right? Do you have the right mentors in place? So sure, will it be easier and less costly for you to go to the gym and try to figure out all the equipment yourself to achieve this goal? Now, the gym doesn't mean you're going to have the goal of losing weight. I'm just talking about the gym just in general, because it's easy and people relate to it. To go to the gym, you can hire a trainer for $50 to $60 an hour, or maybe in Philadelphia where I used to live, it's like $100. Or you can go to the gym and try to figure it out yourself, right? So think about that. What would be easier for you, to pay the $50, get the workout plan, follow it, or take 3 weeks to a month figuring it out yourself and save the $50? I don't know. I think it'd be better to invest in yourself, right? So do you have the right mentors in place for what you're looking to do? Do you have the right experts? Do you have the right people to guide you? If you want to do it alone, that's fine. It just might take you out of the window of getting there faster. Okay. So Investing in yourself, a lot of people don't like to do it. They don't like to, they'll invest in, you know, I don't know, cars and things, their cell phone bill. They'll invest in YouTube, Netflix, invest in your cable TV, which is what's for some people it's like $200 a month, right? But they won't invest in themselves, in personal development. Now, once you start that, though, I could tell you it's very addicting. You start to invest in your personal development and life gets better. And you're like, wow, why haven't I invested in myself before? Because sometimes we feel we don't deserve that investment. But if you have a goal, if you're moving forward, it's kind of like they tell you in business, to make money, you need to spend money, right? So even if you don't have the money right now, it's like you can't just make nothing out of nothing. So invest in yourself in whatever it is, whether it's nutrition, a business, developing yourself, transforming yourself, invest in yourself. Is it easier to go it alone? Not really. It'll take you a lot longer, but you can do it. But the master expert is preferred. So say yes to taking it up a level to manifest. June 24th and 25th. This is your low key weekend of the month, especially the 24th. It's been a good energy week up until this point to the 24th. So you may think you need to barrel through because some of you watching are high achievers, highly sensitive. So if you're not fully burned out and burning the candle at both ends, then why not barrel through, right? Not a good thing to do on that weekend, especially the 24th. It's better to take the good energy of the week, have some energy for yourself, not too crazy. So it would be best to reserve the energy because there may be a family issue that weekend for you, especially with an elderly person or a family member that you need to have the energy to that may require your help. And that will surely deplete your reserve. So if you have no reserve and try to barrel it out yourself, then have to deal with this, you're just going to be going into the week after of manifesting without anything left. So the 25th, it'll be a happier day, even though more low key, but it will, things seem to be settled more a little bit, but remain on hand just to help and so that you're not too scattered. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat real quick and see where people are at. All right. Let me read this. Okay. So hi Stephanie, good to see you. Good to see you back today. Blummy Blum. I still love your like tagline, Blummy Blum. Blummy Blum's always been Blummy Blum. And she's been Blummy Blum for like 30 years. Blummy Blum, always watching the videos. I love it. Doesn't change. I've been really trying to focus on songwriting and recording, but life keeps interfering. The day job and kiddo sucks up a lot of energy. Absolutely. Absolutely, Blummy Blum. So what's going to happen if you don't set up those pillars and you don't set up that foundation and you don't start to prioritize that? And that's something that we all think we could do by ourselves because we're like, well, we can technically do it. Like, why do we need an expert? Why? Because then you have 3 other million things going on and you're like, I just don't have the time to get all this stuff done. Right. But what would it feel like if you were actually recording? What would it feel like if you actually had that song in front of you and you actually saw that manifesting into reality? Small milestones, not big ones, but all those small ones lead up to the big ones. So I would urge you, and this takes some planning, takes some prioritizing, and it takes some nervous system work, right? So if we're going, we're in what I call the fight or flight system in our nervous system. So it doesn't only take manifesting, it takes nervous system work as well. And that's something that we actually do in our Ascend and Align Accelerator. And we actually teach you how to regulate your nervous system so that you can get a lot more done being calm and clear and having that clear access point into your intuitive compass. That's really, really important. But yes, so you got to follow the forecast, Blummy Blum. Don't get scattered. Okay, Stephanie, I barely make ends meet at my current job and desire change. I have many projects to complete, but I don't have much creative freedom or a team to help me. I pray that changes, that my finances increase too. Okay, I'm going to be a little tough on you, Stephanie. Sorry, but I have to do it. Praying's not going to change it. Okay, praying, yes, we have praying for inspiration, And we're praying for the strength to take action. Action is what's going to change it. And having faith that whatever you invest in for yourself, and I think because you've taken some of my courses before, I think following a structure for you is going to be very, very helpful. But this is not something that's going to change overnight, right? We're going to make small changes leading to the big changes. But getting to those small, what I call micro steps for you, Stephanie, having micro steps, even those small things that you're like, oh, that's so dumb. Like, why would I take this little micro step of an action? Because all those build on each other. So you have a lot going on here, and you're probably, if I were to sense how you were feeling, you probably have so much going on. Like, you have all those projects on your mind. You don't have much creative freedom or a team. So you have the financial stability there as well that you're worried about. And when it comes to like safety and security, it's like once we're there, think of it as your root chakra. Think of it as the red zone. All the alarms go off for safety and security. We need safety and security. So we almost can't even move in a direction because we feel so stuck. So you want to pick one of those things, Stephanie. Pick one of those things and break them down into smaller milestones, and then break them down even, more into micro steps. And I would really urge you to invest. And I know, I'm telling you, when I transitioned my business with the vision I had, I literally had very little money in my bank account. And I was like, okay, I have to take this risk. And it's kind of really when you don't have it, you have to have faith that the universe is going to replenish that for you. Because once we start moving energy, the energy moves in all directions. So if you're limiting yourself in one area, it's just going to continue that lack and limitation. So even a small investment in yourself might help move the energy. I know it sounds counterproductive, but it's one of the keys to moving things ahead. I hope that helps you, Stephanie. Hi, Taryn. Good to see you. Hi. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Awesome. Yes. Reach out. Definitely. I know you had mentioned this before. Absolutely. Reach out. Blummy Blum. Haha. Oh, Taryn, thank you. You're saying I help your family so much during the worst times. Oh, thanks, Taryn. I'm so glad I was able to provide you to connect with your dad during that difficult time. And I hope you're doing, I know it was a really long time ago, so I hope you're feeling a lot better now. Yeah, Stephanie, I know you're stuck. I would urge you, Stephanie, once we come up with the manifesting membership, it is very, very, it's not going to be a large investment at all. It's like a little monthly subscription that will be kind of a step up from these energy forecasts. So if you just want to dip your toe in the pool, that would probably be good for you to get started with. But if you want the boot camp, and if you want the very difficult program, but it will change you. Come to the Ascend in the Line Accelerator or apply for that. Okay, where are we at? We're at June 25th. Okay, now we're going to June 26th and the 27th. So, okay, this is a wild ride as we get to the end of the month. I know you don't like wild rides, but I'm going to give you a wild ride. So if you think about kind of in the Wild West, when you go into the saloon and that western door going into the back of the saloon or the restaurant swings, takes you back and forth, people going back and forth. You never know if the doors are going to swing out or swing in. That's June 26th and 27th. So they're going to be like, you're not going to know what's coming at you, but it's going to be a very powerful 2 days. But the door could be swinging out, or it could be swinging in, or one door could be coming out, the other door could be coming in, right? So these days could go either way and you could be quite unfocused during these 2 days. However, the energy is still powerful. So we want to really make do with that. Like kind of like if you think about a really busy restaurant or bar on a Saturday night, and it's a really well-oiled machine, and there's that waitress who's been there 30 years and she knows what she's doing, and she's going back and forth out in the kitchen with tons of dishes and stuff, but it's efficient, right? But we don't want to get in her way, just like we don't want to get in the way of the energy. So we have to respect the power of the day or the 2 days by trying not to be too structured. I know I'm telling you to lay the pillars, but now that we're laying the pillars, we almost got to let the universe kind of take care of us and do what it needs to do behind the scenes. And that's very hard for a lot of us that like to be in control. So we're trying not to be too structured or force anything or go against the doors. Okay, so this is good, meaning things are ramping up. The energy is ramping up in your life. The energy is moving. Now, if you're a business owner or you're actually moving forward on some of these things that we talked about in the last week that we mentioned about putting the pillars down, some of you might be bringing a team into this, and some of you might be building or using a team to help build the foundation for you or help you with your foundation. And sometimes when you have a team building the foundation, you want to get in there and you want to manage and you want to control. But if you are having mentors at this time, or if you are having people work on your behalf, you are having people, let's just take the simple task of a personal trainer setting up your plan for you. You're not going to get in there and tell them what you want to do. You're not going to get in there and tell them how you want the exercise to go. You're going to just allow the team in the fitness center to figure out what's best for you, right? You're not going to try to micromanage it. So that's really hard. So just imagine that restaurant on a Saturday night and that star waitress going in and out. Things are moving fast, things are hectic, but they're getting things done. But if you were to stop the waitress, stop the kitchen, stop the doors, probably would be a disaster, right? So what I'm asking you to do, and this is something also for the people that are on here that I've already talked to, with even Blummy Blum and with Stephanie, it's just as much to get the structure and the foundation down as it is to basically let go when you're asking people for help. It's very hard to let go. You're turning things over. You're asking people to help you set up systems in your life. You got to let go, and you just got to let God. And this is where the prayer and the faith come in, is that God is placing people in your life to kind of help you to up level. And we can only up level at the ability of the energy that we have the capacity to up level, right? So if we only have a small amount of capacity and energy, we can't do this big energy thing in our life. If our energy is like completely stressed and we have no capacity, we have to build capacity. So that's why those micro steps are really important. All right, so this is good though. This is good. Release the urge to, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, release the urge to micromanage the restaurant or the kitchen, especially in the back, by going behind the scenes. Like, don't go back into the kitchen. Don't even try to go back there. You'll get a plate hurled at you. You know what I mean? So let the universe work on your behalf. Get everyone to do their job and stay in front of the house. So all you're going to do is observe. You're going to put the plan out there, and you're going to get the help you need, and you're going to actually follow it. Okay? Regina, you're actually getting your foundation prepared. That's awesome. What kind of foundation? Are you building a house, or is this like the actual symbolic foundation that like we kind of talked about? Love to hear more about that. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. All right. So June 28th. Now, if you imagine that we talked about the restaurant, right, in the Wild West. If you're just signing on, you kind of watch this from the beginning. So now, if you go to the restaurant, the crowds are gone, restaurants closed, the bar's closed. The door going into the kitchen is only going one way. So things are closed down, being put away. It's about time to check in with the back, the kitchen staff, seeing how everybody's doing. So you could do a check-in now that on the 28th, you could kind of check in with your team, see how everything is going, but realize the team's tired. They gave you the stuff. They kind of are finishing the rest of the night, right? They're finishing it up. Don't put too much pressure on analyzing the situation. Okay. So let the waitress go home. She's tired. Let the kitchen staff clean up and go home. Hold on. We have a lawnmower, which is usual during this time. Okay. So it's best to kind of realize that your team's wrapping stuff up. They already did a lot of work putting things together for you. Now it's time to let them go relax, right? We don't want to micromanage right away, put things into perspective. June 29th is the day that you're going to test your data, right? It's report day. So if we take the restaurant analogy, it's the day where the restaurant management gets together. They look at the inventory. They look at their sales for the night. They look at the front of the house. They look at their bar bills. They make sure they have all their supplies, and they see how they did on that night of that performance by putting everything together, seeing how it worked. So June 29th is how you can look at what you're building. If you have a team, you can look at what they're doing, or if you're just trusting the universe, you can let the universe work for you on the 27th, 28th. 28th, you're going to rest and let things wrap up. And the 29th is when you're going to test and look back and say, how did that go? Okay. June 30th. Now it feels like everything is finally in place. If you kind of follow this, you might have to watch this a couple times, but if you kind of follow this formula for the week, June 30th is finally operational, green light, it's a go. Yes. So everything is finally in place as long as you didn't get in there and mess it up. All right. So we're going to go into July next, but I just want to see what Regina has to say. You're getting your house back in order. All your kids moved out. I hope it will take a few more days. Like you said, boring work is done. Then I can follow the dream I started years ago. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the time. By the 30th, you should have all of your foundations in place. If you don't get that team ready, or organizers or movers or anything that you have, whatever you have to do, make sure that everything is done by the 30th, because July, the energy shifts. All right. The July theme is jumping off of the June theme, the swinging doors in the Wild West, right? We love that. So July 1st and 2nd, some dates go together in my energy forecast, and these dates are like cousins, right? So not even sure what that means yet, but you will now know when and what times and where the doors are opening and closing. So now, instead of those Wild West doors swinging all over the place, going in and out, you're now going to have access to the doors. You're not going to be alone with the doors. And one's going to open and one's going to close. And you're going to have full control over what was built for you. You're going to be able to open the door when you want and close the door when you want. So now if we look at July 1st and 2nd, July 1st is the opening door and July 2nd is the closing door. So you're the only one in the room now and you're in charge. So let's see what it is here. So you have the system in place. It's a very good system. And now you're going to use the tools that you were given. Okay. So July starting out pretty strong. Now I usually talk about the holidays that are coming up. And sometimes I'm like, not a great day to celebrate the 4th of July, maybe best for the next week or whatever. But this year, I remember last year, I was kind of like, hey, you should celebrate the weekend before. But this year, July 3rd and 4th, are very strong for the holiday. So goal planning days for the 4th of July festivities, doing something spontaneous on the 3rd. Okay, so the 3rd and the 4th. The 4th is going to be your more traditional 4th of July day, right? So you do something traditional, like, can we say like a 4th of July cake, red, white, and blue, do something. The 3rd, I want you to try to do something more spontaneous, something you haven't ever done before. That energy will be more appealing for the 3rd and not the 4th. So if you want to do something spontaneous on the 4th, may not work out as well. Do your tradition on the 4th and something more spontaneous on the 3rd. July 5th. Now this is your blast off day. This is your launch pad. July 5th is a great day to literally blast off with a new adventure. The team sits back that you just built, that we talked about in June, and it lets you lead, right? So when I was doing this monthly forecast, looking at this date, I saw, did you ever like watch videos with the hand glider and they like run off the cliff and then they just kind of soar? That's how I feel on the 5th. It's kind of like there's no team behind you. You have all the tools you need. You have the hand glider or the hang glider hand. I know somebody I met was like a professional hand glider, hang glider. And they told me, I was like, everybody thinks it's one, but it's the other. But I will say I like saying hand gliding because like my whole life, that's what I thought it was. But I think it's actually hang gliding. But anyway, that's the vision. And so July 5th, you can literally blast off to a new adventure. It's a great day. July 6th, you may realize you expect perfection at first. Okay, so when you kind of take off, you blast off, you have the team, you have things built for you, all the foundations are in place, you test the theory, move ahead. You want to do things more than once, because the first time you do it, you're going to have glitches, you're going to have things come up, but they're minor. But don't let that set you back. Things will be well smoothed out on the second time around. So as you keep trying to move ahead, don't get discouraged if things aren't perfect. Okay, now July 7th, you want to mark this in your calendar. Not a good day for travel. Okay, so some aggression could be with people, with the weather can be erratic. It can also be seen as a big power day. So when we have a big power day, doesn't mean it's a bad day. It means you got to use the power wisely, because if you use it against itself, it's going to turn into aggression and arguments. So think launching a rocket into space. You need a whole new team now. So you had the implementation team we talked about in June. Now you need a whole new team, like the testing team, the emergency team, the tech team, right? So you're going to be building as you're moving forward. We're going into July 7th. Now we're not needing the starter team. We're needing the maintenance team, okay, to keep you rolling and consistent as you move ahead. So you need a new team here. And this, like I said, this is not a good day to travel. So the testing team, the emergency team, so these are not the implementers. These are the people that keep things working behind the scenes so that you can do your most creative work, right? So if Blummy Blum wants to be a singer-songwriter, she's going to need some team to maintain her other tasks during the week and during the day. So she can be the CEO of her songwriting and music writing and have the time to do that and not be stuck in the weeds of the other tasks. She needs to build a new lifestyle. And if you're still out there, Blummy Blum, sorry, I'm talking about you in the third person. So the implementation team from June that we just talked about has stepped back, and now you must man the controls with the back end management team. Okay, the people who could help you keep things moving ahead with those boring tasks and things that you don't want to be doing. And basically, if you need the tech team, the emergency team, or the people to fix stuff as you go along, they're the ones you want to have in place. So July 8th and July 9th. Okay, those of you who love the idea of love and romance, these are the best 2 days of the month, or actually the best 2 days of the last 2 months, July 8th and July 9th. These are love and romance and commitment days. Great time if you are proposing, if you're doing a celebration, trips, professions of how you feel about somebody, and strong commitments. This is if the commitments are good ones. So you want to get, that in place to know before you make a commitment, obviously. But this is a great time for love, July 8th and 9th, and for long-term commitment. July 10th. All right, this is a stay home and read day, a day for clarity and introspection, not a day to socialize and go into the world with a lot of people. Although there will be a strong urge to do, and go. You want to mark this on your calendar to not do that, because you want to stay in introspection, because there's going to be some realizations that you're going to hit that day. And they're very important for your spiritual purpose as you move ahead. July 11th, a day to check on both sides. Oh, a day to check if both sides of the pillars are balanced, right? So you built the pillars. You want to make sure they're balanced. So is your work and life schedule balanced? Are your partner, your romantic partner, and your projects balanced? Your work and your home life, are they balanced? How about time with people and your silent time? Is that balanced? Okay. So really important. Let me see what people are saying here. Regina. Oh, thanks for my deal. Yes, I have daily inspirations on Facebook and Instagram. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram too. I do much different content over there about the nervous system as well. So make sure you follow that as well. Stephanie, good time for love. That's great news. You're in a new relationship. You love each other, but the honeymoon is over. Okay, so it's that maintenance part, Stephanie, that we talked about earlier. It seems to be where you might be hitting some stuck points. Is that maintenance? Maybe you good at starting, but keeping and maintaining might be the challenge there. So you say you look forward to creating new memories. Awesome. Just realize that those the honeymoon stage is mostly chemicals. So the intimacy stage is much better if you can dive deeper with that relationship. So thanks for sharing that. Now, what's interesting is when I looked at the 12th, 13th, and 14th of July, we talked about what did I talk about here? The balance of the pillars. The 12th, 14th, 13th, and 14th of July is, do you have balance about your boundaries and how strong your boundaries are? So if you envision the 12th and the 14th as your boundaries and as your walls, and the 13th as your vulnerability point, are you letting people see through those windows of the house? Are you showing people your softer, more vulnerable side? Or are you showing anger when you're irritated or overwhelmed? Are you showing softness? Do both physical, emotional, and energetic boundaries align? Okay. We work on this in our Ascend and Align program. In the more boot camp program that I have, we actually work on all these boundaries once a month. We actually have a nervous system coach come in and work on these boundaries with people to make sure that they're intact, but also that they're not too rigid where you're not letting people in at all. So we have to look at our boundaries, which ones are soft, which ones are too rigid, and which ones are just right. And we also have to look at our boundaries in different ways, like mental, emotional, spiritual, and psychic. So there's a lot of things to look at, but I want you to, on the 12th, 13th, and 14th, to think about, are my boundaries serving me in my adult life the way that they served me in childhood, or do I need to reevaluate them so that I can let more people in, I can develop more connection, but I can have strong boundaries to keep out draining energy. And July 15th, you'll find that I can't, these are solutions. Okay. I have no idea what I wrote for the 15th. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. Oh. You will find, once you look at all these boundaries and pillars and assess them, that you will gain the insight on the 15th, and that you will have solutions if you seek it to know if those boundaries are correct, if you seek them within. And the 15th will, maybe you could read my writing. I don't know what this says. Anyway, the 15th. Oh, okay. Now I know the spirit must have told me what it said. It said the 15th it will all come together. And this looks like that's what it said. I mean, if this looks like together for you, down here, that right there, does that look like together? No, probably doesn't. That's why the universe had to tell me what it said. So we're all good. I kept you guys a little bit longer than normal for our energy forecast, but I'm looking forward to you guys actually rewinding it and replaying it and seeing how it fits into your month. So I will see you very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all for showing up today and coming on live. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you want to get this in your inbox every month, make sure that you go into the description of this video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you're getting this as soon as it comes off the press. And if you're just joining us, make sure that once it's posted, if you're a subscriber, you're going to get it in your email very soon. So you can have it there, or it'll be on YouTube as well. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thanks. Bye-bye.